Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus, Certainty Home Lending, Patterson Insurance, Stewart Title, the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team, Total Care, PBJ Mortgage, Smart Safe Retirement, Gaston Investments and Development, and by Team Watson Redeemers. The Community Difference Frisco
was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the North Texas Community Difference Frisco show. As you can see, I'm wearing a couple different hats here. As you know, we are in the middle of bowl season, college football bowl season, and last night was the Texas Bowl. We are a house divided in our specific household. It was Texas A&M versus Oklahoma State, and I will remove the Aggies hat and represent the victor of the game last night, and that is the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So go Pokes. Figured I'd lead off with that for my son, Will. What's up, Will, if you're listening? Well, like I said, welcome to the North Texas Community Difference Show. This is the Frisco version of this show. We have several other communities also up and live earlier today. If you caught it on The Difference, we have the Wiley Show. But here we will talk about all things Frisco. So welcome to the show. Let's bring on our co-hosts. We've got Debbie Watson and Chance Post today. Lennon, if you don't mind.
Hey
guys.
Hello.
How we doing?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Debbie, I love your background. Happy New Year background.
Happy New Year. 2024 is going to be a great year.
Amen. I love that. Well, it will be a great year, and we've kicked off this show at the end of 2023. Looking forward to really rolling it out even more so in 2024. This is the first time I've had you two as co-hosts together, so excited about that. Welcome. We got to meet, I already know Diane Castle, one of our guests today. Corley, I got to meet very briefly. So looking forward to getting to know Corley a little bit better as well. But as you know, hey, we're in the middle of bowl season. We're in the middle of the holiday season, festive time. So why don't we bring those guys in and let's give them an intro. Hey guys, how we doing?
Fabulous.
Awesome.
How's everybody doing? Great.
Doing awesome. And thanks guys for taking time out of your holiday season to join us on the Difference Frisco show, the Community Difference Frisco show. If you haven't seen the show before, what we're doing and what we do is we bring on business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, Frisco ISD leaders, nonprofit leaders. We're going to get a little bit into that today with Diane. So excited about that. 'Tis the season, right? So we'll help her kick off an awesome 2024. And then also sports. I don't want to leave that one out. I kind of gave a hint on it earlier. And one of our awesome hosts or co-hosts on the show and sponsors of the show is the Frisco Fighters, the Arena Football League here in Frisco. So if you watched the previous show, you would have seen the coach of the Frisco Fighters on. So excited to have you guys on today. The other thing that we do on these shows is we talk about a business topic of the month. The business topic of December is the future of local Frisco business in a rapidly changing environment and rapidly changing economy, right? So, Corley, I want to hear your perspective on that. I know you've got your hands in multiple pots as an entrepreneur. You're in a very exciting, changing environment where your store is located. So I want to hear your perspective on that topic, and we will dive into that a little bit later. But without further ado, co-host, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'd like you to just introduce your guests, and then I want to just understand what our guests do, and then we'll cut to a commercial break, and then on the back end we'll talk about what's going on in Frisco. But in the spirit of ladies first, Debbie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then introduce Diane, your guest.
Okay, great. Well, my name is Debbie Watson, and I am Team Watson Redeemers. We dedicate ourselves rescuing families and businesses from the pitfalls of financial literacy. But Diane and I have known each other for years. When I went full-time in my business and left the corporate world in 2017, of course, what did I do? I started going to a lot of networking groups. And Diane and I was in another just all women's group, and then wound myself up with Master Network, and she was actually one of the directors of one of the chapters that I was in. So Diane, I know, has a passion for helping the nonprofit world. It's her mission to enhance the lives of everyone she meets, to turn their dreams into life, into reality. So I'm so excited that Diane is here with us today. And Diane, you want to share a little bit more about you and what your goals are?
Sure, I would love to. And what a better time of the year to do this. This is very, very insightful for you, Brian, to kick the year off like this. I grew up in the volunteer world. My daddy taught me how to volunteer from this little age. I think I was probably about 7 at church. And we spent more time at church than we did at home. And it just gave me such a full life, Debbie, to really focus on other people instead of myself. To think of that this world is much larger than just the little circle and bubble that Diane Castle lives in. So I was filled. My heart was always filled. I never thought about my problems because, oh boy, when you do that and you think about somebody else, then you realize how small you really are in this world. And so I sat on many boards, helped many events, was always right in the thick of things, and was fortunate enough to meet Chance along the way and Brian along the way in my journey in this community, and knowing what community means to so many people. And so what I did was I took my passion of sales and helping change people's lives with products or services and really roll that up into a nice, neat package where I use different platforms and I help nonprofits fund their mission. And I do that through different platforms. Whatever platform resonates with them, we have a menu at Castle to Castle for them to choose from. And that's what we do. We support charities. We make it known what's going on in their world and how they are changing and impacting lives. And we do that through what we call cause marketing. And I know some of you know what that is. Some of you listeners out there are saying, what in the world is cause marketing? And so that's where the difference stepped in. And Lyndon and Brian and I put our heads together and said, we can do this and we can make such a huge wave. So it's like what I like to call, it's not the pebble that you skip across the top of a lake, but it's the ripple that causes that, that comes from that. And then this huge giant wave that comes behind it. And you might not think that little OU supporting a charity can make that much of a difference. But when all of us get together as a community, we certainly can do a huge thing in this world. And so cause marketing is very simple. A company gets behind a charity and supports it and lets the community know that they are behind that specific charity and why they're behind it. Why did they select that charity? And then people in the community start watching and they start listening and they say, wow, I want to do business with that company because they care about the community that they live and work in. And so that's what cause marketing is. So what I do, as Debbie knows, and Chance and Brian and Corley's now going to find out, is I connect with the nonprofit first up front. I interview them. I find out what their mission is and why they're so passionate about it. And what have they done? What have they done to draw awareness? What does their database look like? What does their support system look like? And then I connect them with the difference. And they're going to come on the difference and they're going to be interviewed. And then we're going to invite local business to get behind them. And that is what I'm talking about when you want to build a community and you want to unite people in this divided world that we're in. That is how we're going to change the world. It is like what General Michael Flynn says in his book. The only way that we're going to survive all of this nonsense going on out in the world right now is to bring God back to the very core of our lives and to unite communities and families,
Awesome.
make the
So,
families again. So
Diane,
that's what
I don't mean to cut you off. I do want to go deeper on that, and I want to leave a little bit of meat on that bone for a little bit later as we do go deeper. So let's pause there, and let's go deeper on how we're going to do that and how we're going to integrate into the difference, because I'm really excited about that. It's going to do a lot of great things for, like I said, one of our pillars, right, is nonprofits. So I'm really excited about it. I just want to give Corley a chance. So Chance, no pun intended there. Chance, why don't you give Corley a quick intro? Let him go a little bit deeper on his businesses, and then we'll hit commercial.
Sure.
Awesome.
Sure. Corley, I met him actually doing some podcasts at Venture X a few years ago, and I know he's a coach and an entrepreneur and a great all-around business guy. And he's got his hands in a lot of different things. And when we got linked back up here a month or so ago, when he got the taco bar going, Rockin' Tacos. So I said, hey, I've got a great way for you to get out and get your message out as what Diane was saying. The reason, one of the things is total care. We do stuff in the community. We support local nonprofits. We have a Total Care Foundation. And that's really what we're about. So this medium was so perfect for us. And when I was thinking about guests and I thought about Corley, I thought, well, he's the perfect guy to have on the show. So I'll let him take it away with what he's got going on. But just this whole, I think he gets it. We're all kind of get this, the synergy we're building today is just unbelievable. And Corley, take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak with all of you. I'm very excited to be here. This is my first time speaking with you all, but I hope this is one of a million. We've got lots to do and lots of people to talk to. And so Chance, hats off to you, man. Always consider you commiserate with many of the things where my mind is at. And Brian, good to meet you, Debbie, you two, all of you. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about what you all do and how we can collaborate. With that said, I will say let me end off with where Diane. Let me start where Diane ended off because everything that I've done in the past, I say 20 years. Has been, I'm kind of simple-minded in the sense that if it feels right, we'll go with it, and I give all of that to believe it or not, God. So that's my first ticket. I've been pretty successful by His hand, that just me just doing what I feel is right. And so here I am with a bar and a restaurant. I've heard Diane say the craziness of the world, but I think that, we have to have a foundational sense of what keeping the end in mind. And so that's where I am. So all that said, I came to Frisco about 8 years ago from North Richland Hills, where I raised my son. And he's now out of Oklahoma University. So Brian, he's OU and not OSU. There's a lot of energy and juice around sports right now here at the bar, even too, and I can appreciate that. So he's out and about. I'll kind of start with the end, and that's why I'm here sitting in this 40,000 square foot box with food in the kitchen, in a full bar. But and from this came a lot of what Diane also said, a lot of volunteer work. Where you get to a point where you just feel, well, okay, I've done this, I've done that, and you kind of figure it out. You're like, well, that didn't work, this didn't work. Well, I know that people matter, and you can't do anything alone. And so your feelers start to get out there, and you start making those connections. And so a lot of volunteer, like Diane, many boards, NTP. I was president of North Texas Performing Arts for many years. I was on the board for about 8 years. I don't know whether they made me do the president or not, but it worked out. And that's one of the largest arts performance nonprofits. You may have heard of it. Youth theater. Okay. And several other boards. And I have a PR firm. Me and a couple of guys from SMU. You just think we know it all, and 18 guys. But yeah, that's fun. That's a fun way to get your message out there by communicating, finding different ways to communicate. Because as you know, everyone doesn't hear the same bell. They don't hear the same language, and so that was always a fascinating piece for me, communication. And then before that, yes, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We do need to cut the break. I do want to get a little bit deeper into all the stuff that you do have your hands in. And I hate to tell you, I don't know if you were watching the game earlier. You mentioned SMU. They did lose in the bowl game to Boston University.
You had to mention it, right? You had to.
I mean, you're gonna pull the OSU thing. I gotta just trying to keep everybody up to date. But that being said, we'll come back on the backside and go a little bit deeper on all the things you do that you do, and I look forward to hearing more about that. But right now, Lyndon, let's cut the break, and we'll be back with What's Up Frisco.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending, Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement, Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title, Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance, Matt England, director of corporate partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development, Chance Post with Total Care, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And now we're going to do one of our favorite segments here. Lyndon, I'm going to give you the
What's Up Frisco?
Boom, nailed it. What's Up Frisco? So this is our segment where we go into coming events, fundraisers, networking, you name it. What's going on around the Frisco community that you need to know about? So, Chance, I know you mentioned it last week, but I think we've got a little bit more concrete information on it this week. So I'll let you lead this one off.
Okay, so we've got a great networking event. We've partnered with the Texas Legends. We talk a lot about sports. Wednesday, January 17th, before the Texas Legends game, we've got the Party Plaza. Should be 150, 200 people. Big networking event. Hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos. A lot of the Legends people will be there. Malcolm will send out his invite. I'll invite all of our networking groups, all of the total networkings around the city, Arlington, Denton, Frisco, all those groups will be there. You get a free ticket to the game. So there's a link on the Facebook. It's on LinkedIn, but you've got to click that link and get your free ticket to get in. And then the doors open at 5:45. And so we'll be there to direct you up to the Party Plaza on the second floor. And then you'll get, a wristband and everything. And like Spud Webb was there last year. So there'll be some celebrity appearances. There's stuff for your kids to do their bounce houses and all that. So it should be a really big, great networking event. Great time after the new year to get your networking kicked off right. All the kind of people like us, guys that are listening, the people that do networking the right way. So really look forward to seeing everybody.
Reiterate that date again.
And that's Wednesday, January 17th, 5:45 p.m. sharp.
Boom. Love it.
And that's the Comerica Center. where the Texas Legends play.
Not only Texas Legends, but our sponsor,
Frisco Fighters.
Frisco Fighters, baby.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Corley, I know I gave you very short notice, but the floor is yours if there's anything that you want to call out, whether it's at your location or anything else in Frisco that you want to talk about.
Thank you, sir. Well, I'll tell everyone, coming tonight is karaoke night.
All right.
Tomorrow night, we've got live music all weekend long. David Christian, a musical genius on the electric guitar, and he sings. This guy's phenomenal. He's going from 7 to 11. Saturday, we have the Emerson Band, a local powerhouse, 6 guys that will tear it up, alternative rock, you name it, dance all night. And then Sunday, we have our countdown New Year's celebration, and that's going to be lots of fun. It'll be full buffet, hot, delicious food. We're going to have, you name it, the whole nine. It's a ticketed event. $50 will get you in, so you won't have to pay the $150 that we all pay every year to go to Dallas. We're right here in the community, and we'll get you home safe. I actually have an app for the bar, and for folks who can't get to the door too well, we want to make sure that they get home well. It's just an Uber app. But as far as the community goes, there's a dedication of a community leader, Deb Arndt. She has painted a picture in my, for me. She's a good friend. She works with the Frisco CTE Center. She's one of the directors over there, and she's going to be doing a presentation and dedication to the bar and to me on this. It sounds weird saying to me that it sounds a little strange, but on the 2nd of January here at Rock and Taco Bar. So I invite everyone out. It's free. Come on in. There'll be a lot of people to network with, and say hello to. You've got to tell folks you've got to be there. You've got to show up. And so I like the event that Chance just mentioned, but I will bow out there. There's some other things going on down in February with the Chamber. Every Thursday, I would ensue everyone to go to the Frisco Chamber Thursday morning kind of networking meeting in the morning. It's pretty early, 7:30, but it's worth it. You will meet like-minded individuals. And as you know, Frisco is so connected right now with the next 10, 15 years. And so you never know who you'll meet, but I'm sure you will connect with someone. That's all I have for now.
Awesome.
That's awesome. There's no lack of things going on at your restaurant. So I mean, you can pick a day of the week, just show up and there's something going on. Live music, karaoke night. It's awesome. Love it.
Cool.
All right, Debbie or Diane, do you have anything? If you don't, that's fine, because I do have one more thing that I do want to mention.
No.
I do not. Not at this time.
Excellent. Well, I do want to mention we've called this out the last couple of shows. Jason Young was on our original show with guests, that is, and there is an event called the Miss Frisco, Texas Scholarship Pageant. So it is a scholarship that benefits young women ages 17 to 25. And that is basically it is a beauty pageant that will be occurring on February 17th, 2024 at Verona Villa, which is right off of Dallas North Tollway and Lebanon in Frisco. So that's the actual event, February 17th. And if you do want to compete in that event, the selection for that, the competitors is Friday, January 19th, 2024 at the NAC Theater in downtown Frisco, right off of the railroad tracks. So come check that out. Again, great benefit, scholarship benefiting young women ages 17 to 25. All right. Well, that will wrap up our What's Up Frisco segment. So thank you all for sharing that information. Look forward to those events coming up most recently, or I guess in the near future, Corley, your restaurant. Okay, so let's transition. So what we typically will do is just go a little bit deeper into what brought you guys into the city of Frisco. And Corley, I'm curious to hear your take on this. It sounds like you had come from, I don't know if you're a native to Dallas, but it sounds like you were in the area previous to coming to Frisco. What drew you to open a business in downtown Frisco?
Wow. Thank you, Brian. Again, always communication from a family of communicators, and very blessed to be able to have a desire for that. When you stop communicating, you're done. And so it started a long time ago, Brian, when I came here from New York 25 years ago. Started with CC's Pizza franchise. My wife and I and baby boy. And anyway, that was a lot of work. It helped me as a man. It grew me as a man. It really put some legs under me. And I realized that in order for it to be successful, nickel and dime business, restaurants. But I needed to communicate. I needed to get out to the community. And so I did that for a few years, got rid of that and got into corporate. Needed some more knowledge. So I got into corporate, really blessed to be with the company for 14 years. That I don't know why they kept me so long, Ryan, but they did. And I learned all I could. And that just took it to the next level of growth mindset. And staying on track with that communication and growth. And then got out of corporate, said, okay, this is a little, feeling a little boxed in. I need to move around a little bit. And so I cashed out and started the music school in North Richland Hills. Stayed there for a while and grew it. It was just paying the bills. I like music, so I figured I wanted to give that away. What I didn't tell you was I was signed to Sony for 6 years before I came to Texas, and that's how I got to Texas. I was traveling all around producing music and things like that, man. So if y'all Google me, you'll see all that when I was a baby, little boy band.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know we had a musical
awesome.
celebrity on the show.
I'm glad we're getting some of these fine facts I didn't know. Wow, boy, this is interesting.
Great.
Okay.
Don't hold it against me, Diane and Debbie. Don't hold it against me, okay?
Don't be surprised if our Wizard of Oz Lendon digs up some of this footage and shows.
I'm already on it.
There's a
Gonna have a little bonus at the end of the show today, everybody. Stay tuned.
You guys are good. So did the music deal for quite a few years, and taught a lot of children how to sing properly. I studied bel canto in school, and which is opera, and of course piano. But so I was that was my thing there. Again, communicating properly as a vocalist. And then my son, of course, always a father, which is another great thing that teaches us how to communicate. All right. And then, so here we are in present. I was really walking down the street here on Main Street and hadn't recognized the place that I am in, and got a taco, got a beer. And it was so good. I invited someone down to come have one with me. And we were both like, whoa, this is really good. There's a lot of food. You could feel that it was well loved, the brisket taco, and of course someone who has coffees and lunches all the time. Whoa, what's going on here?
I told you it wouldn't take very long.
This is your life.
I'm gonna have to tell somebody about you guys. I don't know. I love it.
He was not ready for that. I didn't tell him any of this stuff was going to happen when I invited him on the show.
That's the beauty of it. We just fly by the seat of our pants here. You give us a little nugget, we're going to run with it, my man.
This is live. That's how it goes when it's live.
Y'all don't play. Usually you'll get little sound bites or something. Y'all just go straight for the pictures. You go digging.
Yeah.
All right. So really, really blessed to be able to have acquired this particular location. It's in the heart of Frisco. which is, some would say, a smart move. But I really wasn't, I knew about what was coming, which we'll talk about later, perhaps, peradventure we will. But it just felt right. It was really me following my gut and not my, let's say, my head all the way head, because you can have bad deals and bad relationships and bad business deals, and it can kind of, if it's leading your next step, you may not get too far. So I kind of go for the gut. And from every day of negotiations, it was all guttural. I was literally saying, okay, this feels good. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking. Before I knew it, I was signing a lease. And like anything, if whatever I tell my son, I'd say, whatever you do one way, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And so, I really went with the gut and, back to the Lord, of course. And, but, it's been good. It's marketing is everything. I tell everyone who has a business or even your own personal brand, if it's like turning a light on, if the light's not on, no one knows you're there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you've got to find ways to keep the light on 24/7. But so Brian, it's been quite a journey. I'm still learning. Working on a book right now, and should have been out. But you know how you make excuses. But I would tell all of you, if you don't have one out there yet. I bet Diane probably has one or two. But it's very important to get published, because everyone, and as communication, there's a huge sector of people that read. I know newspapers are supposedly going away, some 72%, but still, that those books are important. They're huge. Anyway, that and so, but yeah, so I'm in it down here, man, and it's been great. The chamber's been great. They're directly across the street. They come over for lunch. That's good. We're right here on 4th and Main. We keep the music going. We got a live stage. We've got pictures from all over the world on the wall. It's just a different vibe. Kind of the notion is to bring Denton, and let me know if I'm going over too much here. The notion is to bring the Denton Little Elm feel, which is, I'll travel to Dallas to watch some bands that I know, some alternative bands, and just sit there with the beer and just have fun all night, and I kind of want that here. They say Frisco's the last place to get things like that. That's what they say, believe it or not. Right. And so maybe pushing the envelope, but that's where we're at now.
No, that's awesome, and you're exactly right. And Frisco, especially downtown, has a ton of character, and it has been lacking that live entertainment aspect, and so I think you're bringing something vital to that community, and we will go a little bit deeper into that, because downtown Frisco, we talked about it on the first show. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on there. What I do want to do right now is take a break, but Diane, I want to give you the floor after we get out of the break to go a little bit deeper on your mission and the things that you have going on, how they incorporate with the difference, and then how they incorporate with the Frisco community. So we'll do that on the back end of the commercial, but right now let's hit it.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens, we want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose. The Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support The Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc. to join us in making the difference in helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back, and I'm glad that was a commercial break that played because it dovetails very nicely into Diane and everything that she has going on with Castle to Castle. And it's also shows the fact that we have multiple community different shows going on, right? And this is where the work that Diane is doing and all the nonprofits that will be coming onto the show has access to all of those community shows and really can spread their wings and reach through the difference and the community different shows in particular. So I'm really excited about that. So Diane, without further ado, I want to turn it over to you to kind of continue where you left off, where I cut you off earlier, to just go a little bit deeper on all the activities that you have going on. And then, maybe wind it back into the Frisco community if that's possible.
Sure, absolutely. Well, when you give me the floor, look out, look out.
I may pull it away from you, but it's yours for now.
Well, you can always tell, can't you all? I know everyone on the show today agrees that you can always tell when somebody's passionate about something.
Yeah, exactly.
And that they're just on fire. They've got a light in them, and some people don't know what that is. And they say, wow, she's got something, but I don't know what it is. And what it is, it's God, and Corley and I are on the same page there because we give everything to the Lord. But when you've got that passion and that pit in your gut, you can't not talk about it. Mm-hmm. And so it's the best thing created since sliced bread and peanut butter is what I want to say. So, and Corley, we're going to come up there and we're going to make you sing. I want to hear that. I want to hear that rock star voice.
Well, so, we have multiple singers on the show because Diane can belt out a tune too. I mean, Debbie, yeah. I'm sorry.
I've been known to, but I'm not real quick to do that. Not like Debbie. Debbie gets on stage pretty ezy, and it takes some coaxing for me. So it's got to be a country song. Awesome. That's all I can say. It's got to be a country song. So just to add, I want to talk a little bit about how this works, the mechanics behind it. I got a little bit into it, but thank you for stopping me because it does take a minute to get the grasp of what cause marketing is, because that's kind of a new term, a new lingo that's out there, and not a lot of people know what it is. And so when we got together, we put our heads together, Lyndon and I did, over a year ago now, we really started churning this idea of me taking my passion of working with nonprofits and saying, hey, tell me about your nonprofit. Tell me, what is it that you're trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? And what have you done so far? Where are you in the process? And what's missing? What is the missing link? And it's kind of like Lyndon always says, and I can be his spokesperson on this, it's not that what you're doing is not good. It's just that enough people don't know about it. Right. And so that's what we're trying to do. So when people introduce me to a nonprofit, and I'll talk a little bit about a couple specific ones that I'm working with right now that are very passionate in my world. But when somebody introduces me to a nonprofit, because they know that that's what I do, and I get calls all the time, and I think it's just such a blessing every time I get a phone call and say, Diane, do you know about this nonprofit? And they connect me with the founder or the executive director, and I find more about it. Tell me the meat, give me the details. Tell me where you are and where do you want to go? And let's see what we can do to get you there. And so I've got several platforms that I can help them get there that draws awareness. that allows people like you and I here today, you listening. Everybody wants to give. God gives us a giving heart. But most people have a challenge when it comes to giving to a charity. And one of those challenges might be because you don't have disposable income to write the check. You want to so desperately make a difference, but you just don't have that income to do that. The second challenge may very well be that you don't have the time because you're busy running around doing all of these wonderful things that you're doing in your life, taking care of your family, taking care of your business, just living life, and you don't have time to work on that specific fundraising event. So how are you going to give? How can you fill your cup? How can you pay it forward? I think a lot of us here are old enough. I'm thinking we're old enough. This is a 1980s movie. It was called Pay It Forward. And Pay It Forward was about a junior high Sunday school teacher who gave an assignment to his junior high students. And he said, I want you to create an idea that's going to make a difference in this world. And then I actually want you to put that idea into action. And this one little boy came up with this incredible idea. It was about paying favors forward. And it not only changed the school, it changed the community, and it just became this huge wave of human kindness across the country, especially after it showed and aired in movie theaters. And it was absolutely a game changer. And so what I'm going to say is that we can be game changers. We can jump on board with all of these different platforms that I have available to nonprofits. And it's just how you shop, basically. How do you shop for the things you already buy? And, what card do you use to shop for those things? If you have a business, what credit card processing merchant company do you use? There's so many different ways, platforms for these nonprofits to link arms with, and I help connect that. And then I hand them off to Lyndon, and Lyndon interviews them on the show, and he's done that with one of our nonprofits called Carson's Crusaders last year. And he makes the community aware of who Carson's Crusaders is and what they do and what service they provide and how they make a difference in this world. And so that's the connection there. Now, to wrap it up with a bow, what in the world is cause marketing? Well, cause marketing is where a company comes in, much like all of you here that are sponsors, right? The sponsors of the show, they want to get behind the community. They want everybody, like Lyndon says, you got to get out there. And Corley said something a minute ago that I wrote a note. Corley said, if your light's not on, no one knows you're there. So your light has to be on. It has to be shining. And so what we want to do is give local businesses an opportunity to jump behind a nonprofit and say, you know what, I want to help fund Total Care ER Foundation. Yeah. How do I do that? Well, if you're a local business, there's a great way to do that. You can be a sponsor, a co-sponsor of one of the different podcast shows. Right. And then people hear about you, they know what you do. And here's the biggest thing. They know that you care, that you're not just there to make money. And I know we all have to make money and keep the lights on and pay the bills, but they know you care. And I will tell you that the market studies will show 66% of the population in a community, if they're shopping, say they're shopping at Starbucks. I hope they're not, but we don't want to get into that. If they're shopping, Lena's going to be laughing behind the scenes. Say they're shopping at Starbucks and they're perfectly happy with the product and the price they pay. But when they find out that mom and pop coffee shop opens up down the street and mom and pop coffee shop supports Total ER Care Foundation, they are going to walk, and their wallet is going to walk with them. And they're going to go down to local coffee shop, and they're
Diane,
going to start buying.
Yeah, Diane, I can't agree with you more. I did want to make a quick comment on what you were saying, because one thing I noticed was when I started talking about the Total Care Foundation and what we were doing, that our whole reason for being is to help others. So I felt more motivated because I'm now doing something beyond myself. I'm now helping people all over the world. So it's really a lot more motivating to me to, although I got to take care of my family, like you said, but now I'm actually helping people in other parts of the world that are less fortunate. And it's interesting when you start doing that and start talking to people like that, you see them light up because, hey, I'm not just here to make a buck. I'm here to do good in the world. And people can read that and they see that in your face.
Yeah, totally.
And so,
totally agree.
Yeah, so I'd like to just invite people. I mean, that's really it. It's very simple. I don't do anything complicated. I do it, as Corley said, it's all about communication and letting people know that you're there to help them. All they have to do is reach out. So I urge people to reach out to me. If you know of a nonprofit, if you sit on the board of a nonprofit, if you're the founder of a nonprofit or a co-founder or an executive director, reach out to me. If you're a local business owner and this has touched your heart, reach out to the difference or reach out to one of us and we will connect you, because there are so many ways to help these charities and make a difference. And it doesn't have to break your bank to do it.
Right.
You would be very surprised at how economical it truly is.
Love it.
I love that little tease there. So, we are making the difference. That's the whole point of the show, right? So, the every little bit makes a difference. That's what we're going for here. So, we're going to have this theme go throughout, all of our shows next year as well. So, Diane, thank you for giving us a little bit more background on exactly what cause-based marketing is, and look forward to knowing how, meeting some of these folks that are leaders of nonprofits and how they get involved and having them on the show. I look forward to that as we get into 2024.
Awesome.
All right. So what I'd like to do right now, we've kind of already touched on the business topic of the month, and that is, Frisco businesses in a changing environment, changing economy. So get out there through castle to castle. How can we help? So that's one of the themes. We do have about 15 minutes left. We have one more commercial break that we're going to do right now. We do have a rapid fire segment that I do want to fire off on the backside of this commercial break. So we'll do that. But right now, go ahead and hit the commercial, Lenny.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance. Matt England, director of corporate partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development. Chance Post with Total Care. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. So we are a little bit limited on time today. I do want to hit on this topic, the business topic of the month, with it being local Frisco businesses, changing economy. How does that all work together? And Corley, I want to get your perspective on this, because I know we said we were going to dive a little bit more into the downtown Frisco dynamic that's going on down there, the change that's happening down there. We touched on it in the first show that we had with Donnie Churchman, who's and Jason Young, both very involved in the Downtown Merchant Association, as well as kind of rebuilding a lot of things that are going on in downtown Frisco, along with the city, who's fully on board with expanding the Main Street thoroughfare, creating kind of a downtown square. So you alluded to it a little bit earlier, Corley, that things are changing and things are happening in downtown Frisco. How much of that did you know about before you decided to sign that lease and get your business, fully commit to that business?
Great. Yeah. So I guess, Brian, before I tell folks about what's going on in that head, our folks that are listening to this may want to know that as they know, the Star is one of the great things that Frisco has done and partnered with. It's all about city and private partnerships at that level. And so the Star, and then of course PGA, to name a couple of few, PGA, and then of course Universal is coming out very soon. So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz, and so segue into the downtown. Well, this is a project. There are projects coming, and these projects are things that have been talked about for, I've learned, over 25 years. So if you can imagine a mom and pop store. When you think of downtown, you think of mom and pop stores, antique stores and little boutiques, and these are, and it's truly the heart of what downtown is here and all across America. And so they've been waiting for something to happen. Well, when you get to be a city like Frisco, who's really in the know, very forward-thinking city, they're able to invest the right way with some very smart people. And they collaborate with the community. So again, communicating. It's not by camel. It's a spectrum of understanding. So anyway, so all of those great things have come. Now downtown has become the primary focus. And one of the most urgent things that they'll begin to start breaking ground with is the sidewalk in front of my restaurant, which may or may not work, guys. So come on, hurry up and get your tacos now. Come on. So yeah, and so they'll be breaking up the street, as you know. If anyone's ever dealt with malls or anything like that, it can be a disturbance on traffic. So we're really trying to build that excitement now, so folks can have a place to go, destination-wise. And what I found in Texas is, in doing business deals and things, is Texas people are destination based. So if you can get your stuff out, Apple does 6 months, but you can do 2 to 3 months or a month or so. Let people know that it's happening, and they will come. Anywho, I say that to say, yes, I did know a little bit about what was going on, but again, it wasn't the deciding factor, because if you start thinking about that, which I alluded to, you've got months and months before anything's finished, and that may or may not kill you. I mean, this isn't. I'm not Jerry Jones. I may look. Do I look like?
Getting image. It's uncanny.
But we've got to keep the faith. We've got to keep the faith, and we've got to, and we cannot waver. And what does that mean? That means that there is no doubt. And so, until it starts hurting, you certainly don't want to cut your nose off, spite your face. But we're, hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. I would say there are a ton of other shops besides mine. I do want to mention the game show experience, which is only a block over. Shannon Whitty, she is an amazing friend and a great business owner. Her and her husband run that, and it's the game show experience, like the shows that we watched coming up as children.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, all that.
Yeah, Family Feud. Yeah.
Right. So come on down to Main Street, Frisco. There's a lot of things going on. And there's also a new brewery. It's the first brewery in Frisco. If they tried it before, and people may know the buzz of Ben and Skin, they have a Roller Town, or Ben has Roller Town of Ben and Skin. And it's a beer brewery. And they're coming to Frisco, which is right by the silos. If you all know the big old tall silos over here, next to where we are, us and the Knack, which y'all mentioned earlier, which is only a block from me, and Jason Young and so on. Great guy, great friend. Glad to know y'all had him. And so lots of things going on. They're breaking ground for a theater, like an amphitheater type of deal. Let's say break.
Yeah, Paul jumped in and said that he's an ambassador with the Frisco Chamber. He was at the ribbon cutting at the game show place across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And we happen to know, Debbie and I are in a networking group with if not the host, one of the hosts of all those game shows.
Right.
So shout out to Jason.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. So yeah. I will say that this particular building will be almost the centerpiece, y'all, of the whole thing. They're raising the ground to that cobble kind of brick ground, beautiful ground going from one side to the other, which would be north to south, and coming right in front of my building. So there's a lot of plans. I have blueprints. Lord will we get there for 2-story patio, a very nuanced, very beautiful. It's so beautiful. 2-story patio out front. It'll be the only one on Frisco. And I don't like to talk about it too much, till it happens. But there's that coming, and then there'll be a taco bar window on that 4th Street where the patio will go. And if anyone wants to see all of this, you can go to Frisco. You can go to the city of Frisco, and it'll somewhere in there do a little digging, and you will find the plans and the maps of the renders of what it looks like. And so, yeah, so lots of excitement going on down here, and I invite the community difference to bring it, have some bring it here. I would love to do it. I would love to do this on our stage, and that's not a too hard of a pull, I hope. But you guys are exciting, and we can surely fill it up. So just throw that out there at you. Yep. And thank you.
Don't be surprised if we take you up on that, because we've been we've been brainstorming some things on our side as far as quarterly events that we're going to be doing. Would love to do one at your Rock and Taco place. Would love to do a live broadcast. Certainly would be awesome. So that's a fantastic idea. See, we're just live collaborating here. This is what we do. That's what this show is for. Corley, I just met you, and here we are. We're setting up shop in your Rock and Taco. So love it.
Love it.
Awesome.
Be careful, Brian. I may just leave you with the keys, so just be careful.
We are a property management company, so Wow. All right. Well, hey, thanks for that overview, Corley, because there is a lot of exciting stuff going on. It was, I think, about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, at the Frisco Chamber, right across the street from your restaurant, they had a open house basically that for I think the full day or so, you could walk through and see the rendering, see models, and all of the things that are planned for downtown Frisco. So there is a ton of great, fun, entertainment, family-friendly stuff to do in downtown Frisco that's coming down the pike in the next couple of years. So look forward to that. What I do want to do is shift gears. Diane, I know you wanted to talk about one of the organizations that you're working with currently. If you want to give you a couple of minutes on that. And then we've got a little bit of bonus time. Lyndon was gracious enough to give us a few more minutes. So let's talk about that, and then we'll do our rapid fire segment.
Great. Thanks, Brian. I'm working currently with a nonprofit called Freedom 13, and I'll tell you briefly what it is. Freedom 13 was founded by the parents of Jared Schmitz. And Jared Schmitz was one of the 13 soldiers that was killed at the Afghan airport in August of 21, trying to help people exit the country. safely. So Jared and Jacqueline started Freedom 13, and it's an incredible organization. What they want to do is have a recreation facility in every single state across the country for veterans and their families to use. And it would be each one of these facilities is going to be 100 acres, and they will have fishing, they'll have four-wheeling, they'll have just about everything, picnics, everything that you can think of to celebrate life with their families. And they may have facilities. They're talking about doing some kind of counseling services as well. You can imagine that the cost of one of those facilities is $1 million for each one of those facilities. And that's just a ballpark figure. And so Mark has raised $700,000 since that time with really no help. And he's been on national television a couple of times. He's been on local television and radio stations, but that's pretty remarkable. So he's almost there. I think that they have their first place picked out in the state of Missouri. That's where they live and where they're from. So we hope that we are going to be there, groundbreaking and starting to get down there and create that. Now, why I think that this is going to be really important is coming up in February. Corley, this is get your antenna up. They're going to do a pub crawl, and they've been doing it now for 2 years since their son was killed. And I said to Mark, well, why does it have to be local? Why can't we do it across the country? We can do a pub crawl across the country. And what this is local business owners, specifically pubs, mom and pops, restaurants. It doesn't have to be a mom and pop, but I could see Frisco doing a pub crawl down Main Street. And I can get you the material for that. It's material that you put out on your tables, and you would give a portion. You can give and donate to Freedom 13 with that little barcode, whatever you call that little barcode thing. I know y'all are laughing at me now. Whatever that little thing is.
Yeah, so, QR code. Just
so it's that too. So I think it could start a wave of understanding what Freedom 13 is, like Glendon says, to where we've got to let people know what's going on and how easy it is. Here's just one way that you can give and make a difference in the lives of these veterans and their families and the sacrifices that they laid down for us here to be able to do the very thing that we're doing right here on The Difference.
Love it. And yeah, Lennon, I see your comment there. We can have owners log in. We can do a live show. We can do all kinds of cool stuff around that pub crawl event to bring a little bit, as Corley said, shining light. Shining some lights on these efforts. So hopefully, could I just ask Corley? We can talk about this offline, but if you could start putting a list of your fellow owners there on Main Street, and you and I can get together and talk about plans, because it will be here before you know it.
And I'll say quick, just to amplify what you're saying. One, the gentleman, I didn't get his whole Jared. No, I didn't get the father's name, but he's a powerhouse for raising that much money in such a short amount of time. I want to say that, but I also want to say, so there's a lot to learn with that. And then with that, you can, Diane, we can invite you to the merchants meeting. We'll talk offline, but let's get this thing going. Best way to do it is just do it and see what happens. Would love to do a pub call. We can certainly collaborate on that. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's it. Downtown Business Merchants Association. That would be a great venue to socialize that. So, like I said, here we are making things happen, making connections live on a podcast. What
awesome.
I mean,
love it.
Who does that?
Yep.
We do.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. Well, awesome. This is great, guys. And so this is exactly what we're all about. And this is why I love doing it. And this is why I love seeing it happen literally live on a podcast and live stream. So the more we can do this, the better. what we're going to do right now is one of our fun segments. This is how we end most of our shows, as long as we have time for it, and we do this week. So it's called Rapid Fire. I'm going to fire out a question. You don't know the questions ahead of time, so you gotta think on your feet. And I'm just going to go around the horn. So I hope you don't get called on first, but you might. You never know. All right. So first question: if you could meet anyone, living or dead, who would it be? Corley, you're first since you're up in my upper right quadrant.
I would like to have another moment with my dad. He's gone now, but he was a good man. And, it's hard to find commiserate. There are guys out there, but, that whole package, like I am with my son. It sounds corny probably to a lot of folks, but I'd like to talk to that guy again. Yeah,
Love
there
that.
you go.
Yeah, love that. Debbie, who would you choose?
Probably Reba McEntire, and there's a whole backstory to that, but I just think she's a phenomenal lady. But I met her a long time ago. She won't remember, but there's a backstory to that.
Okay, well, we'll dive into that on a future show. Chance, what about you?
I think I'm going to say I'd like to meet Richard Branson, just because he has so many companies. I try to do like one job. His brain must be a little different. So.
Love it. Diane, how about you?
It's definitely not my brain, Chance.
Yeah.
It's not who I want to meet. It's who I knew. It was my maternal grandmother. And, she was just a simple woman with a huge heart. But here's what I know about her is that she was smarter than she looked. And she created memories. She didn't worry about the house being clean, anything picked up. She worried about putting a great meal on the table and great conversation around the table and playing with her kids. And I think that that's what our world needs more of.
Love it. So mine is recently deceased, I guess, is Kobe Bryant. I guess not super recent, but yeah, I'd love to dive into that Mamba mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right.
So Brian, who's your team of all teams? I mean, I'm hearing a lot of sports stuff going on here.
So I'll tell you a little backstory. So we actually had a sports themed show here on The Difference last year, right, Landon? So you're going to see sports throughout the theme of sports throughout everything here, because we are huge sports nerds. I'm born and raised in Chicago, so my teams are all Chicago based. So when it comes to basketball, I played basketball in the height of the heyday of the Michael Jordan Bulls.
Okay.
So I'm a huge Jordan fan.
Good company, right?
Yeah. So he would be the Mamba mentality, Jordan, is kind of the same mindset, right? And we could go on for hours about that, so I won't take up the time here. But so you name a sport, it's going to be Chicago, and if it's baseball, it's the Cubs. It's not the White Sox. So for anybody out there who questions my loyalty of Chicago baseball, it's the Cubs.
So if I say Jordan or LeBron, there's no question, right?
No, the GOAT is Jordan. There's no. I mean, we'll end it right there. Enough said. All right, so we'll sit down.
Hey, Brian, real quick. One day in heaven, God's going to let them play a game of one-on-one. And I know you can't bet in heaven, but I bet Jordan wins.
I would push all in on Jordan.
Yeah.
No doubt.
In heaven.
I love it.
All right, so next question, and we have time for one, maybe two. So next question, if you could eat only one meal for the rest of your life, doesn't matter, healthy, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be healthy, one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? And Diane, we'll start with you.
He knows I'm a foodie. Yeah. If my doctor ever told me that I could not eat steak or mashed potatoes or a big piece of bread with butter slathered all over it and a bottle of wine, I'd say, Doc, it's been nice knowing you.
All right. Love it. Love it. Corley, what about you?
Hands down, 1,000%. I would have brisket loaded tacos from Rockin' Taco Bar with a glass of either Chardonnay or no. I go with a Burgundy. I probably do cab. I would do a cab. One of our cabs from 2018. I would do that. So let me say it again. Brisket loaded tacos from Rockin' Taco Bar, and I'm done.
Go get you some. All right, Debbie, what about you?
Well, mine would be Mexican food. Now, I don't narrow it down. I was like, if I could eat Mexican food, that's just one thing I could probably eat every day. So I have to go to Rockin' Tacos and try it out.
There we go. Good synergy. Chance, what about you?
Yeah, same. I'd say tacos, and that's.
All right. Well, I won't jump on the taco bandwagon just yet. I love them, but Portillo's Italian beef sandwich all day, every day if I had to.
I could have guessed that. I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
Are they sponsors yet? We need to get them on as sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
we definitely need. I mean, I give them plenty of love on the show, so we need them as a sponsor.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, hey guys, we are running up against it. We've got about 4 minutes left, and I don't want to cut anybody short on giving the audience your information. Just a quick summary of who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you. So let's start with our guests first and ladies first. So Diane, the floor is yours for a brief moment.
Great. So the best way to get in touch with me is, of course, Facebook is easy. Diane Castle, and the spelling of the name is Cassel. So a little play on words there. And my telephone number is listed in the streaming banner going across. It's 972-658-4035. And of course, my email address is Diane, and that is one N and an E, at castle2castle.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Corley.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, first, I do want to say thank you all again for having me on. This has been a real pleasure, and I wish you all the much more success than you already have. I'm actually have a list of folks here that I need to have tune into this because it's things like this that really makes the world go around. It's things that people are trying to figure out what to do. And so this is really, really, really great thing you got going here, you guys. So y'all can find me. I would say I'll give you one deal. You can go to lifelaunch.network. I'm sorry. Now that's where I do all of my, that filters into everything. So it's a coaching based business. We got about 45,000 people on there, ready and willing to pick up banners, all about mind growth. All about, not doing the autonomic, but changing the mindset of who you are to do greater things. And with that said, thank you again for having me on. It's lifelaunch.network. You can life launch on Facebook, life launch on Instagram, life launch. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Corley. Appreciate that. Thank you. Debbie, why don't you tell the audience who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you?
Okay, my name is Debbie Watson, and I am a financial coach. I'm a licensed person to help you improve your finances. And so many people out there today, 73% of people are struggling today. So how do you reach me? I am on Facebook, on LinkedIn. My phone number is 214-801-7481. And my website is primerica.com/Debbie Watson. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. And Michelle, of course, Blackhawks are the team. All right. My second team is the Stars. I'm all about the Stars, but the Blackhawks are the number one in my heart. Go Connor. All right, Chance, you're up.
Yeah. So I'm director of marketing for Total Care. You can reach me at the best way is probably email c.post@totalcare.us. Hopefully you don't have to come into our yard at Preston and Lebanon. So hopefully you're not seeing me because you're hurt. 'Cause I don't wish that on anybody, but the main thing to remember is you don't have to wait. If you go to the hospital, you're going to sit there for 4 or 5 hours. You come see us, you're going to be in see a doctor in 5 minutes. And one of the things I love to do while I'm on this show is to connect you. So if you want to reach out to me, let's do a one-on-one. I'll connect you with my network here, Denton, Arlington, Frisco, all over. So that's one thing I truly believe in this format, what we're doing, and everybody here is here for the right reason. So I implored, reach out to me. I'm a host in Denton. We can get you on the Denton show if you got business in Denton. So we're going to hopefully do one in Arlington. I know we've got Plano coming. We're going to keep building this out because this is a perfect conduit for the cause-based marketing. I mean, I think that's where we're all headed.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have said a better chance. You're exactly right. This is a new way to connect. So please reach out to any or all of us. That's why we're doing this. We are 100% accessible. All our information, as you've seen, has been scrolling throughout the show. We just gave you how to get in touch with all of us. So please, 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 if you want to get involved, reach out to any one of us on the show. We'd love to have you on. We'd love to meet you in person. With that being said, guys, we are out of time. Thank you all for joining us, especially during the holiday season. Our time is very precious. I know we've all spent time with family. I consider you guys all family here on The Difference. So thank you for spending time with us this hour and 15 minutes. With that being said, we will be back in the new year. Looking forward to 2024 and all that brings. Happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year to next week as we get into the new year. With that, we'll see you next year.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Sonia Lowry with Gaston Investments and Development. Chance Post with Total Care. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference.